Gender equity, or so even more than sexuality is a cause. Like you feel like gender equity is the thing, or I know they're tied together.
Yeah, listen, at risk of me being like, here's what I care about most, bam, 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 the rest of you don't matter.
Yeah.
Going back to my life experiences, what I will say is I feel like I've had the most heartache in my life because of gender inequity. So yes, that is the chip on my shoulder.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you're a woman.
Yes, because I think all through my life, I've just kind of been less than. Honestly, not that I felt that way, but less has been expected of me. I got less opportunity. I had to fight through to get every single thing. You know, I think that's one of the reasons I started YouTube in 2010, was there was no one else that looked like me. And it wasn't only this exciting, ooh, this is really cool, but it was definitely that chip off my shoulder of like, well, there should be. And so I'm gonna make it. And so that always is a little bit of a driving force, even with the late night show. I'm gonna be very honest, I've said this many times, I'm not one of those people that grew up with the dream of saying I want my own late night talk show.
I mean, I haven't either.
I know, but I think when I got this show, everyone was like, oh my God, all interviews, is this your dream? Did you grow up watching Jimmy Fallon? And I didn't.
Well, don't you think that was kind of the issue, is that when you had the show, I think your vehicle would have been more like voices, character sketches like Superwoman, and then they had you doing stand-up and interviews. And I go, you're taking a golfer and you're making her play basketball.
Right. Well, I think that there's 2 seasons of the late night show. The first one, I was so out of my element. I was, there's producers and all these people that knew late night, and I was the only person that didn't know late night. I only knew myself, but when you're put into that machine, okay, so we have to start with a monologue. Oh, I guess we have to do that.
Right.
Okay. Lily, you have to hit this mark. Oh, okay, I'll hit this mark. I'm listening to all these people who've done this for so long, and the product of season 1, when I watched it, I was like, this is not me at all.
Right.
And I don't like this, and honestly, it's not that good. Season 2, I definitely made more my own. There was more sketches. I was doing monologues as if there were rants. I was doing all that stuff, but people had already made up their mind about the show after season 1, right? And that's a tough thing. It's like,
you're boxed.
I had 30 plus years of hosts that look one way, and after 1 year of me, people made up their mind. I know it was tough. I didn't have a lot of resources and a lot of options, and so I did the best I could do. I could say that genuinely I am proud of season 2, but I am quite, to be politically correct, I'm quite relieved to not be doing it anymore.
You don't have to be. You can come out and just go on a rant right now.
I don't want to seem. I do have fear of sounding ungrateful.
You come off grateful.
I appreciate you saying that, but
we know that.
I do understand how big of a deal that was, and it has honestly helped elevate my career. Now I'm doing so many things that I'm actually excited about, so I don't want it to seem like I'm crapping all over it, but it definitely was a mentally, emotionally, and draining thing.
I would imagine it would have to have been.
Every single day to be putting that much energy into something.
Did you get advice from the other late night talk show hosts?
I did. I remember I got great advice from Corden, actually, when I went to go do Corden's show, which I will also say, let me just breeze over this fact, but I will also say that was a big deal because historically, they're rival networks.
For a host to go on another.
And so that was a big deal, but I was like, I don't want to subscribe to that. I don't want to subscribe to this archaic rivalry because I'm a newer generation that's supposed to bring a fresh perspective, and my generation is one of collaboration. So I went and did Corden's show, and he actually came into my change room. I was decent. He came into my change room, and
it's not where I was going.
For literally 10 minutes, he just downloaded this amazing advice onto me. I'll never forget it. And he was basically saying, it's so easy. You're doing this daily show. It's tough. The network's gonna piss you off. They're gonna do all this stuff. You have to enjoy it. And the point he was saying is you have to enjoy it, and you'll always feel like you never have enough. Now I left that being like, he's absolutely right. I might not always have this. I should enjoy it. But also, there's a little bit of realisticness of he's saying this from a perspective of his budget, his budget being probably 10 times what mine is, right?
True.
So there's levels to this stuff.
True.
When, my budget was, we can't shoot 1 episode a day. We have to shoot 4 or 5 a day.
Yeah, in a day.
Yeah, that's a different.
That's what we do here. We're shooting 3 guests.
Yeah. So I used to shoot 2 to 3 episodes a day, including the monologue, whatever the bit was, the interviews. That's me prepping for 3 interviews a day. And you know what it is. You're doing it right now. It's tough.
It's
but now imagine a live audience.
I got coffee breath.
Yeah, no, imagine a live audience. Imagine the network here giving notes. Imagine all this other stuff. Right. So it's tough.
Yeah, that does seem like it would be a lot. That's funny. That's almost like someone in first class telling someone in coach, enjoy the ride.
A little bit, but I appreciated the sentiment of what he was saying.
No, that's no knock on him.
Yeah.
That's not, that's really sweet.
But I needed to hear it because that's what honestly got me through the rest of the season. But I really appreciate that he took 10 minutes and he gave me this advice for someone that's been doing it longer than me.
In one word, what are you?
human.
I'll take it. That's hard to argue against.
Yeah.
I remember once I was having that argument with my dad because I said something about this thing with extroverts.
Yeah.
We just talk.
Yeah.
We really realize how
Yeah.
it lands. And then I go, because we're talking about because he's gotten so involved with Indian politics. He's been here for 50 years, 5-0.
Yep.
I go, Dad, are you more Indian or American? Ethnicity, nationality, all this stuff. He goes, what are you? And I go, well, look, I'm probably American first, human second. How can you be human second? How is that sort of thing?
I mean, sometimes Americans don't seem human.
No.
So I just, it is
And we're so American that's kind we can't
Yes,
see other
yes,
humans.
exactly,
So that
yes.
maybe is a thing.
Tell stories that matter. Stories that have never been told before. I believe stories make the world go around, and it's how people see themselves, and people would understand themselves better if they saw themselves.
What's your story?
My story is someone who never saw themselves and who, I would say not so much caught between two cultures, because I think I've gone beyond that. I think I gracefully carry both cultures, and my upbringing has been of both, but I think
Canadian and American.
How dare you? Canadian and Indian and Punjabi.
I am not American.
But I think for me, my story is just how to reconcile the immigrant hustle that's embedded in me. The one way that I struggle with both cultures is not the stereotypical ways of I went to school and people made fun of my curry. No, it's that I don't know when to give up. I don't know when to stop working. I don't know when to say no, because that is embedded into me. And so I'm trying to take that hustle and do something with it.
How do you say no to people?
Clearly I can't, I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. Say yes to anything, obviously.
No, I think I have just learned the importance of rest. I tried to
replenish.
I tried to do everything before, and I think in 2015 I pulled lots of all-nighters and I worked, and now I believe that I don't have to work less, I have to work smarter.
Right.
I have to have a good team. I have to make sure that I, schedule things out in a way that's possible, that's not gonna drive me to burnout in a year.
What do you see as your role in the South Asian community?
I would say construction worker, for sure.
Yeah.
It is my 100% mission to pave a path for South Asian people. For a while, I thought that was a selfish statement. I think for a while I was...
Why?
I don't know, I was convinced. I think on YouTube I started making videos that were very, very Desi-centric, and then for a while I went universal. I was like, I'm gonna make more universal concepts, and I still enjoy doing that, but I think I did that because I was like, but we all are kind of the same, and we can all relate to things. And while that's true, as I progressed in the industry, I also learned that, I'm still getting told in a room that my mom's story is not relatable. I'm still getting told that people won't understand this joke. And I realized the more I got in the industry, how much more work there is to do that I think before I didn't realize. And so now I want to be a construction worker. I don't want it to be that years from now, a brown girl sitting in a room and there's 20 white guys being like, no, we just don't really vibe with your story. It's why would you vibe with the story?
Right.
It's about an Indian girl hitting puberty. What the F do you know about that?
No, it's about a bisexual woman of color.
It's about a bisexual woman of color, god damn it. Why would you relate? But yeah, I am a construction worker. I'm very passionate about seeing South Asians win. And I'm gonna try to do everything in my power to make that happen.
Now, do you love killing or hate bombing? Which one's stronger? Some people love winning, but they actually hate losing more.
I don't mind losing. I love killing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think anytime
if
I've
I bomb, I bomb, but
every time I've done really poorly in something, truly, and I'm not just saying this because it's a cliche quote, I've always learned something. How to do it different the next time, how to prep better next time, what to expect next time. The first audition I ever did in LA when I moved here, it was 2 days after I moved here. I'll never forget, I went to the audition, it was very strange. My first audition, they didn't send me any of the lines.
Oh.
I walked in
sides.
there, no sides, no movie title, nothing. They just said, you have to come here and we'll tell you everything. First audition,
sounds shady,
yeah.
I know.
I go there, they made me sign an NDA. They gave me a sign for a major franchise, which deserved the NDA.
Sure.
But they gave me pages and pages of lines right then and there and said, all right, so you'll be up in 30. And I was like, what? All these character names I'd never heard of before, all these this terminology I've never heard of before.
Jargon.
I did it. I didn't do it that well. I didn't do it horrible, but the next time I had an audition, I knew what to expect at least. I knew how to prepare. I knew which muscles I needed to exercise. And so I always say every fail I've had, truly, the only reason I got my late night show is because an NBC pilot I did with Kenya Barris didn't go. And that's how NBC discovered me, because I was in an ensemble cast, and I rated very high for them in the tests. That's the only reason they discovered me for the late night show.
Wow.
So that failure literally led to me
a
getting the
major
show.
success. Have you made it?
Ooh! I said, how much more time do you got in this podcast?
I was like, let me ask her this, keep her here.
You're like, just a small little ending question.
Yeah, I know. I'm totally gonna ask you something else. I thought, no, I didn't get to ask you that yet.
My honest answer is, I don't feel like I've made it.
Okay.
And I'm not quite sure I'll ever feel like that, and that does scare me. Yeah, you see, I'm keeping you on your toes. Ah, dang it. I think a lot of people in my life, my friends and family, would describe me as someone who's made it.
Yeah, totally.
I fear that I will always wake up wanting more and being like, but I could do one more and I could do this better, and that scares me because I don't think that's healthy.
Right. But is that what keeps you going though too?
It does keep me going. I think that's where I have a very bittersweet relationship with this whole have you made it question, because my answer is no,
Right.
but I'm scared that it's no. But that no keeps me motivated to keep going. So I hope that if you know, in 10 years when we're doing this podcast in your mansion,
Right.
I hope that my answer is yes, I've made it.
What would be that thing where you go, okay?
For me, my instinct is that I want to actually put my foot into the game of production when it comes to TV and film, which I'm only a beginner at right now, you know? Sure, in the digital space, I could say I've made my mark, but I want to make movies and I want to make TV shows and I want to act and I want to produce things that are important, and I think there's still work to be done there. So if I have some of those Unicorn Island productions pop off, I think I'll feel like I made it.
Even if it's online though, like if they're YouTube, so this is the distinction between film and online?
No, they have to be beyond YouTube.
They would have to be on YouTube?
They would have to be beyond YouTube.
Beyond, okay, so there
Yes.
is a difference.
Yes, there is.
Because
Because I grew up with TV and movies. So I still, I'm
Okay.
like, oh, the glitz and glamour of an Angelina Jolie, of a Madhuri Dixit, like I grew up with that, so it's still very important to me.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's becoming less and less of a distinction,
There's still
to
that
me there
distinction.
still is, yeah, for sure.